1-1. Swinging a high drive into deep left center field. That ball is way back. That ball is gone! It's a walk-off home run for Torrey! Unbelievable! As we like to say, there's no party like a walk-off party, and the Tigers hoping to use that momentum into this game here tonight. The Cleveland Indians are in town as we welcome you to Comerica Park. Game one of this series featuring the Tigers and the Tribe. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, we are glad to have you with us here tonight. The Tigers, of course, Rod, had a huge victory yesterday. In your opinion, how much of an impact can that have going on this team forward?
I think it's going to have a huge impact going forward. And talk about special moments. We've been provided with so many special moments this year. That one was right up there for the top. Torrey Hunter walk-off. Jim Leland said before the game today, that may be one of the more special moments he's had as a big league manager.
Yeah, not too many would disagree, obviously, with that win yesterday. Now, one of the key components of this offense, really since the All-Star break, has been Victor Martinez. His last 2 months have been off the charts.
I don't think people really understand how hard it is to maintain a really good swing from both sides of the dish. Victor Martinez came into this year a career 300 batter from both sides of the plate, and really his second half has been remarkable. A 385 average, 432 on-base percentage. Very few in the American League has been able to do what Victor Martinez has done the second half, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
All right, big series starting here tonight against the Indians. After the short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios and join Matt Shepard. Tigers have had their share of walk-off winners this year, from Cabrera to Hunter. Who knows what's coming up tonight? Tigers Tribe next. series. Tigers a 6.5 game lead over Cleveland coming into play here tonight in the Central. The Indians starting lineup tonight presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Michael Bourne, Nick Swisher, Jason Kipnis in the top 3 spots. Santana, Brantley, and Cabrera in the middle 3. And tonight for the Indians, Gomes, Chisenhall, and Stubbs in the bottom 3. And we are ready for game 1 in a very important 3-game series here. The Indians trying to climb back into it. Tigers trying to put a little bit of room between themselves and the Indians. First pitch of the ball game is fouled back out of play by the leadoff man, Michael Bourne.
Looks like the Tribe are going to come out on the offense here tonight. They struggled as an offensive team the last 3 days in Atlanta. Michael Bourne jumping on that first fastball.
They had an opportunity with the Tigers struggling against Oakland, but they couldn't gain any ground on the Tigers. They were swept by the Atlanta Braves. 1 ball, 1 strike on the leadoff man, Michael Bourne. He's hit safely in his last 4. Terry Francona has done a marvelous job in his first season here with Cleveland. The 1-1 drops in for a strike, 1 and 2 on Bourne. Typically, the Indians have faded in the second half, but not this year under Francona, who's in his 13th season as a big league skipper. Here's the 1-2. Off the end of the bat, foul.
Porcello already incorporating all of his pitches, just 5 pitches into this game. He's thrown a fastball, he's thrown a curveball, he's also thrown a changeup. 10 wins for Porcello. He got that win 5 days ago going up against the New York Mets.
Those numbers brought to you by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. There's another foul back to the screen.
Porcello also had 13 ground ball outs in that game on Sunday afternoon in New York.
Always a good sign when Rick is getting the ground balls.
Had a great sinker ball that day.
Tigers won that contest 11-3. Porcello won his 10th. Missed it inside. Run the count even now. 2-2 on Michael Bourne. Just underway on a very warm evening here at the ballpark. 87 degrees our game time temperature. Nick Swisher waiting on deck for the Tribe. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and Bourne slams back to the ground.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. It's presented by Beaumont Health System. You have Don Kelly in left tonight. Jackson is in center. Torrey Hunter's in right. Miggy Iglesias, Infante, and the Prince in the infield. And Alex Avila is the catcher here this evening.
Here is Nick Swisher batting in the 2 slot. Was only 2 for 12 in that series against the Braves, and batting .242 this year with 15 home runs. Swisher hammers it foul back out of play.
With every strikeout that Porcello gets here the remainder of the way, he will set new career highs. He now has 109 as far as strikeouts on the year, surpassing 107 a couple of days ago when he pitched against the Mets.
And that is against only 33 walks this season. 0-2 on Swisher.
That is something that Porcello has been good at since coming to the movies. The fact that he just does not walk that many people. He will give up some hits, but very seldom do the base on balls hurt him.
2 or fewer walks in 23 of his 25 starts this year. Pretty major. Here's the 0-2. Fouled back again by Swisher. The former Oakland A's, Chicago White Sox, and New York Yankee. Swisher signing with the Indians in the offseason.
Swisher has struck out quite a bit this year looking at the 3rd strike. 32 of those to be exact, which leads me to believe that he may be up there guessing a little bit too often when he does have 2 strikes. Only punched out 35 times looking last year. Did Swisher the entire season.
Behind in the count here, 0-2. Swing and a miss. Down he goes, and Porcello with a couple of strikeouts to start this one. 2 gone. Got the Indians muttering to themselves early on.
Well, Indians may be a little bit too aggressive here because they did struggle their last 3 games in Atlanta. Therefore, they've both come out very aggressive. We've seen Bourne leave the strike zone swinging at a curveball, and Swisher just left the strike zone there as well, swinging at a curveball.
I saw a stat in the Indians game notes. They were 0 for 18 with runners in scoring position in that series against the Braves.
Is that good?
That's far less than good.
No, they struggled.
There's a strike called on Kipnis. You're not going to win many games doing that. He hit just 227 in that series. Kipnis, pretty good numbers against Rick, 304 with a home run. Now time given to Kipnis. Just underway here on a warm evening at the ballpark. Tigers have controlled the season series between these two teams. A big 3-game set. As we march toward the month of September, it's really starting to get down to that time of the season, Rod, where now you have to start paying attention to the scoreboard and certainly the games behind column as well.
You know, Jim has said since he's taken over as manager in 2006, once you get to September as a manager, all you want to do is have your team in a position where they're playing meaningful games. And once again, he has his team right there.
Leland in his career against the Indians, pretty good, 82 and 61.
Porcello has an outstanding curveball here so far this evening.
And the 1-2. Driven in the air to center. Jackson is on the move. He will get there for the out. Nice start by Porcello. A 1-2-3 first inning. What a great day at the ballpark yesterday. Some terrific sights and sounds as the Tigers and Torrey Hunter walk it off with a victory against the Athletics and avoid the sweep in that series. Tigers starting lineup in this one here tonight is brought to you by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Jackson, Hunter, Cabrera at the top. Prince, Martinez, and Kelly in the middle of the lineup tonight. You've got Avila, Infante, and then Iglesias rounding down for Detroit. And so the Tigers come to the plate here in the bottom of the first. Austin Jackson will start things off. And the first pitch from Zach McAllister is up high. 1 ball and no strikes. AJ batting .268. He is homered this year against the Indians. And he sends a ground ball to short. Asdrubal Cabrera has it there. And Jackson is out, 1 away. Here are the numbers on McAllister.
McAllister comes in with a .500 record, 7-7. The earned run average is not that bad, but the Cleveland Indians, for the most part, have been challenged offensively all season long. He's got a fastball that will touch 94 miles an hour. He'll also cut the fastball. He mixes in a curveball, and one key pitch this evening for McAllister will be that split finger / changeup. He'll need to keep these Tigers off balance.
And so here is Torrey Hunter, who got a nice round of applause after winning the ball game yesterday. Torrey looks at a strike.
Indian starters, for the most part, all year long have simply tried to overpower Tigers hitters. But they all have good fastballs. All of their starters have good fastballs. But the problem with that is the Tigers are a great fastball hitting team, and they just haven't changed speeds very well against Detroit. That's why Detroit's kind of had their way with the Tribe this year.
Boy, have they. The Tigers have won 13 of 16 between the two teams this season. And when it's all said and done, if the Indians do end up behind the Tigers, Terry Francona can look at the season series as one of the main culprits. They just have not been able to get it done head to head.
Masterson's got a big fastball. Kazmir, 94. Kluber, good arm when he was in there.
Salazar?
Yes. He may have the best arm.
Yeah. 1-2. Fouled away. Here's how lopsided the season series has been.
Yeah, Cleveland's been able to hold their own against just about every other team in baseball, but not Detroit.
5.82 team ERA versus Tigers hitting. And the Tigers hitting nearly 300 against Tribe pitching. Here's the 1-2. Little pop up. First base side, and that'll be caught by Swisher.
Tim Hortons will sponsor the the Cleveland Indians starting defense. In left field, Michael Brantley, he might just win a Gold Glove this year. His offensive numbers are pretty good. He hasn't made an error in 221 consecutive games. And with Alex Gordon, who has had a stranglehold on that Gold Glove in left field the last couple of years, having a down offensive year, Brantley just might sneak in there.
Well, he can cover some ground, that's for sure. Here is Cabrera with 2 outs, and he looks at ball 1.
It's fascinating to me how so many pitchers try to pitch off the plate to Miguel, whether it be inside or outside, and he's waiting for him every step of the way. It still does major damage.
1 ball and 1 strike. His numbers against McAllister. Cabrera 4 for 12, a .333 average, but he has no major damage against him. No homers.
32 career home runs against the Tribe for Miguel in his career, the most he has against any squad.
Strike called, 1-2.
That's a good pitch there. There's that split changeup that he'll need to get to a little bit more often here. You could see Miguel not necessarily looking for that pitch.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And so McAllister has his own 1-2-3 inning. Let's go to the second. New quarter pounder BLT using your cell phone. Text Tigers, then a space, and then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or you can also vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Rick Porcello back to the hill as we go to the second here at the ballpark tonight. The Tigers and the Cleveland Indians in the start of a 3-game weekend series. Carlos Santana has had good success against Rick. He will dig in 3 home runs versus Porcello. And Rick missing outside, 1 ball and no strikes on the DH for the Indians tonight. Yan Gomes doing the catching. Santana right now is 3rd in the American League with 73 walks. It's always been a big part of his game offensively. And he looks at a ball outside, 2-0. Rick had a 1-2-3 first. He struck out Bourne, struck out Swisher. And then got a fly ball from Kipnis. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's in for a strike, 2-1. Santana this year with 16 home runs. Now, it was just a couple of years ago that he hit 27, and I guess many thought that would be the range that this guy would be in and year out, between 25 and 30.
He still has the ability to do that.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Pulled on the ground, fair. Inside the bag at first base. Extra bases for Santana. Perhaps. Here's the throw to second, and he is safe. Leadoff 2-base hit.
And 2-1, very dangerous count, and Porcello throws a changeup in that count, and this bat was sped up of Santana because he was looking for the fastball. Hit that ball right in between Prince Fielder and the bag, down in the right field corner, and really had to get on his horse to get that double sliding head first, because Torrey Hunter made a nice play.
32nd double of the year for Santana, the first scoring opportunity for the Indians. Now Michael Brantley, who has done some of his best work with men in scoring position, 347. Ball 1. .48 RBIs and 1 homer this year with men in scoring position. Overall this season, 59 driven in for Brantley. Pulls this one on the ground and through. That's a base hit. Santana coming to third. They'll stop him there as Hunter fires it back into the plate. Single for Brantley. Back-to-back hits here for the Indians in the second. Brantley now has hit safely in his last 4. We'll bring up Asdrubal Cabrera.
Oh for 18 in that series against Atlanta with runners in scoring position. They're already 1 for 1 in this series against the Tigers.
A much better start. Now Cabrera, who bats from the left side, 241 hitter this year. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Very important series for the Cleveland Indians. It's important for the Tigers as well, but not nearly the same kind of magnitude that it'll have on the Indians if they get swept here, or if the Tigers take 2 of 3. They will simply have to turn the majority of their attention to the wild card.
Yeah, and coming in, the Indians 4 games back of a wild card spot. Time called by Cabrera,
because I don't think, honestly, we're going to see another stretch like the Tigers had in the first 3.5 games of that series against the Oakland Athletics, and where they nearly got swept.
You know, I would hope not. I mean, it was really 3 tough games for the Tigers. Not well played for sure. As you look at the wild card standings,
they got their fannies kicked. They sure did.
Yeah, I mean, the rain saved them one night. They did lose that game, but it was called after 6 innings, and they just could not get it going. They got plenty of hits in that series, just couldn't score runs, or enough of them.
And Porcello looking for a ground ball here. He'll give up that 1 run for a ground ball double play.
And there's a diving stop at short. Iglesias to second. One. And a double play.
That boy is too cold.
Oh, man.
Too cold.
Iglesias getting it done again defensively.
Well, there's the run that he gives up. And what a spectacular play by Iglesias, who Jim Leland was talking about before the game today. He says he will do some things on the baseball field that will simply wow you.
Well, if that didn't wow you, nothing will.
This ball was behind him when he finally got it in his glove. Behind him, headed into left field.
Game-changing defense by Iglesias. Instead of that ball getting through, a run in and 2 men on, the bases are empty now with a run in. Here is Yan Gomes. So an early thrill for the crowd just settling into their seats.
Yan Gomes also caught in their game last night in Atlanta. He's been their best hitter in the month of August. His batting average at .281. That's the best on their squad. So Gomes getting more reps these days.
Now the 0-1 pitch. Way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gomes 28 RBIs this year. Batting .288, and as we've mentioned many times, the first Brazilian-born player to make it to the major leagues. Here's the 1-1 from Rick. When you have a guy like Porcello who's going to throw his ground balls, now obviously that was not a routine or typical ground ball. It just pays dividends to have a guy like Iglesias behind him.
Infante as well. Infante can pick it at second base. He's awfully smooth on the other side of the bag.
Here's the 2-1. Foul straight back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. One nothing. Indians have the lead. Double play ball by Cabrera, knocking in a run. It cost him an RBI. No RBI given on that play. Now Rick ready with the 2-2. Bouncing ball first base side. It's by Prince, just out of his reach. Gomes on his way to second, kicked out there and right by Torre, and his throw will be late. It'll be a 2-out double. Second double of the inning, just about the same spot as well.
Guess what's back, buddy?
What's back?
Phantom cam.
Oh, nice.
I mean, you can see by the direction of his bat when he made contact with that ball, even though he's late on the fastball, that because of that direction, that ball was going to go down that first base line.
We'll have Phantom Cam for the entire series, giving you a little bit of a different look, an extremely slowed down look at some of the action over this next 3 games. Left-handed batting Lonnie Chisenhall is standing in now, trying to drive in a run with 2 outs. .220 this year for Chisenhall. And they are still waiting for him to take off at the major league level. Not really a whole lot to prove down at AAA. 1-1 the count. In fact, Chisenhall this year was batting .390 at AAA when they called him up.
They are giving him every opportunity to seize that third base position.
Runner at second, 2 outs. 1 ball and 1 strikeout. Lonnie Chisenhall. Fouled away, and the count goes 1-2. Porcello allowing a double, a single, got the double play ball on the circus play by Iglesias, and then a double by Gomes. One run on 3 early hits for the Tribe. Now Porcello ready with the 1-2. Foul back again.
And when Porcello does decide to go upstairs with that four-seam fastball, about 93, has to get it up just a little bit higher. And that one, a left-hander can get 2. And Chisenhall almost put that ball in play.
Chisenhall, prior to his call-up earlier this year, had 26 RBIs in 27 games at AAA with that .390 average. But it's time to get it done at the major league level. Former top pick of the Indians. Here are those minor league numbers this year at Columbus. Pulled on the ground, foul down the first base line.
And they are making Porcello work out there this evening. Already 34 pitches thrown by Porcello,
which was an issue against the Oakland Athletics.
That it was.
It seemed like every single inning they were taking pitches, fouling pitches off. 3-ball counts. Here comes Jeff Jones now. He's popping out of the dugout.
Jeff Jones didn't like that last pitch. Probably felt like Porcello gave Chisenhall something too good to hit to drive in that run.
34 right now for Rick.
You don't usually see the pitching coach go out and have a conversation with the pitcher after a foul ball. And here is that last pitch to Chisenhall. It's a curveball just spinning. Some depth to it, but a really good pitch to hit.
So Jonesy back to the dugout. Rick was 3 out of 3 in first pitch strikes in that first inning, and it was a very rapid 1-2-3 first, but he's just gone 2 of 5 here in the second. He's fallen behind a little bit more, and he's given up 3 hits. And to this point, just 1 run though. Here's the 1-2. Popped him up. Left side of the infield. To the grass goes Iglesias, and that is that. Well, they get a run, but Iglesias made sure it wasn't a whole lot more than that. What a play. It's short. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Ram Trucks now get a great summer deal on a Ram truck at the Ram Summer Clearance Event. And by Maxwell House Large Can Coffee, good to the last drop. One nothing is our score. Another big crowd here at the ballpark tonight. The Tigers and Indians starting a 3-game series. Top 2 teams in the Central doing battle here at the end of August. Fielder leads it off, and then Martinez to follow. Zach McAllister is on the hill for Cleveland. Prince Fielder batting .268. A couple of homers this year against the Tribe. He has 21 for the season. Ball high, 2 balls and no strikes. Tigers went 1-2-3 against McAllister in the first. Prince yesterday scored 3 runs. His season high in that comeback win for the Tigers. The 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes.
The Prince making a fashion statement tonight with the yellow colored lenses. Prince says he wears those glasses at night because he can just see the baseball very well. Brightens up everything for him, he said.
Here's a 3-0. He will take it. It's a strike, 3-1. Well, they look good. And you know what they say? It's better to look good than to feel good.
No. You got to have all of it. Because if you look good, you feel good, you play good, then they pay you good.
Here's the 3-1.
You got to have all of it.
He lost him, ball 4.
If you missed it yesterday, and of course everybody was talking about the Torrey Hunter home run, but this classic at bat by Victor allowed Torrey to come to the plate. Grant Balfour gets ahead of him 0-2, climbs the ladder with a breaking ball, fouled off a breaking ball, did Victor, and then he got a fastball upstairs that Victor was able to fight off. And then Torrey Hunter was able to come to the plate, and Torrey sent everyone happy, but Torrey does not get to the dish had it not been for that really good at bat by Victor.
So Martinez just continues his assault on American League pitching. The average now is at 297.
The way he's been going, he might be at 300 before the evening is over.
Ball 1 high from McAllister. And that's going to bring Yan Gomes out to the mound to have a chat.
Here is our high-speed stats, and it's brought to you by Charter Internet. Since the All-Star break, Victor Martinez 385. Brian Pena also listed there. Omar Infante also has done lots of damage since the All-Star break. So the Tigers bats, along with Miguel and everybody else that they have, they just can flat out hit.
Well, I knew Victor would be on that list. The other two having some good stretches as well for Detroit. 1 ball, no strikes on Martinez. Earlier this year, Victor got his 300th career double in Cleveland.
He wears out his former club as well to a 367 career batting average. Since they have traded him, he has worn them out.
There has to be something that is clearly standing out in what he has done in the second half compared to the first half for you. What would that be?
Well, confidence level. It's all about confidence up here. He's always had the skills. I mean, he's a career 300 hitter from both sides. But once you start rolling, as he got rolling in July.
Drill down the right field line. Going to get down. Going to go to the wall. Prince on his way to third, and he's going to stop there. It's a double stand-up variety for Victor Martinez.
The baseball is looking like a beach ball to Victor Martinez these days, but it's all about confidence, and right now he's got supreme confidence when he stamps into that batter's box. It's another fastball that's up in the zone. Most left-handers do not like the ball up there, but Victor able to get on top of it and whistle it right past Drew Stubbs, their right fielder.
And just like that now, the Tigers have 2 men in scoring position, nobody out.
Is Victor going to end up being comeback player of the year in the American League this year?
Well, I mean, would they give that award to someone that missed a season, or is that award typically for someone that struggled and then had a really good year?
I think it goes both ways.
Does it?
I think so.
It's fouled back out of play. You know, Mariano Rivera, I guess, would be another good candidate.
Oh, no question about that.
0-1 on Don Kelly. How many cheap hits can you remember Victor has gotten here in the last 2 months? Not many.
No. Not many. He's been squaring up everything.
Now the 0-1. 0-2 on Don Kelly. Tigers now a base hit away from perhaps taking the lead. Although Martinez down at second does not run all that well.
DK getting a start here against the Tribe. Good numbers this year against Cleveland. 286, a couple long balls. And he's driven in 7. And we told you earlier, a lot of these starters that Cleveland will run out there at you are primarily fastball guys with mid-90s fastballs, and Don Kelly's a good fastball hitter.
Driven in the air, right center field. Bourne coming over, and he will step in front of Stubbs. Runner tags, and Prince will come in to score standing up. RBI for Don Kelly. 1-1 ball game. Kelly knocks one in. .22 RBIs now for DK. It's a 1-1 contest, and here is Alex Avila. Two out of 7 of the series against the Athletics. Avila coming back off the concussion disabled list. Well, it's not a DL actually, it's just a concussion list. And he looks at a ball inside. 1-0.
Tom Brookins knows if Avila does hit the ball to left field, Brantley, their left fielder, we told you he plays very well out there. He has 10 assists, which leads their club. So Victor Martinez might not score on a base hit right at Brantley. He should be good to go everywhere else.
The 1-0 pitch is a little high. 2 balls, no strikes. Avila this year has knocked in 38.
If McAllister decides to throw Avila a fastball here, Avila will be all over it if it's in the strike zone.
A little conversation between Jeff Jones, Rick Porcello. Rick's teammates have tied it up. 2-0 is fouled back. Avila in his first couple of games back off the concussion list, showing no ill effects. Martinez, the runner at second. Only 1 out. Tigers have tied it here in the 2nd inning. And the 2-1. Fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes out of Avila. Omar Infante waiting in the on-deck circle. Porcello gave up a run on a double play ball after giving up 2 hits in the top of this inning, with the Tigers wasting little time and coming right back. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Avila goes down swinging, 2 gone. Second strikeout of the ball game for Zach McAllister. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. We're even pouring the Miller with the Phantom Cam tonight.
Sweet.
Well, you know, always looking for new things to shoot with the Phantom Cam.
Making me thirsty.
Yeah, I know it. Here's Infante with 2 outs. That one rides inside. Fastball up and in. 1-0. Omar at .317. And look at his numbers against the Indians this year. .370. Tigers have been really good at scoring 2-out runs this year. They have an opportunity here. Ball outside. 2-0 the count. McAllister, 25 years of age, out of Chillicothe, Illinois. He goes 6'6", 240. Originally drafted by the New York Yankees back in '06 and then traded to Cleveland for Austin Kearns. Way up and in again, 3-0. McAllister's a kid that grew up around the game. His dad, Steve, was the scouting supervisor for the Arizona Diamondbacks. So when he was little, he was tag along with his dad and hung around big league ballparks all the time. Martinez at second, 3-0 the count with 2 outs. And Infante looks at a strike, 3-1. been a pretty good stretch for Omar since coming off the disabled list. 355. And he also has been very consistent this year with his batting average at or above 300 most of the year.
McAllister's going to have to stay out of these counts today if he's going to have any success. 3-1 predictable fastball count.
Driven to right field. Straight at Stubbs. And that'll be it for the Tigers. They will settle for 1 run to tie it up. And you're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire.
Today, but he took his first swing of the evening, and you could see that it was an uncomfortable swing for Miguel. He went on to strike out against Zach McAllister, and now he is out of the game. So apparently, I guess it may be time for the Tigers to give him a little bit of a blow. Jim did say today it didn't matter whether it was playing against a team that was in contention or a team not in contention. When Miguel needs a break, we're going to give it to him.
Well, he's out of this game. Dirks will come in and play left, and Kelly will slide to third. So the Tigers without their big slugger now. As we go to the third inning, tied at 1 run apiece. Porcello goes back to work, and it's fouled away by Drew Stubbs. Got to be real careful with him, I think, Rod, because of what he means to this offense. He has been a guy that has been able to deal with pain so well that it's hard to take him off the field.
The one thing that Jim Leland has maintained all along, while Cabrera has gone through the stomach and the hip flexor issues about the last 6 weeks.
It's back up the middle right by Porcello, but Infante will throw him out.
Is that this injury that he's going through is not going to hamper him long term. This was yesterday in the 5th inning. Miguel hit a single, which should have been a double, but he decided to stretch it into a double, and he could not make it to second base. He stayed down for quite a while. Kevin Rand came out. Jim Leland also came out. They walked Miggy off the field, and many didn't believe he was going to play today, but he did start the game.
One gone here in the third, and Michael Bourne will stand in, top of the lineup now for the Indians, and he looks at a strike, 0-1. Bourne struck out in the first. In fact, Porcello picked up 2 strikeouts in that first inning. Slow roller towards second, ranging right. Infante quickly throws him out, 2 away.
Talking about the Tigers' middle infielders between Iglesias and Infante, there's not going to be lots of balls to get through the infield. Not the remainder of this season.
Do you think they're to the point right now where they're pretty comfortable with each other?
I do think so, and I think Omar's playing about 85% right now. His left ankle's still not good. So his range is not as good right now as it was at the beginning of the year, but Omar's a veteran player now, and he knows how to play different hitters in the right spot, which means he doesn't have to get such great jumps and have great range right now.
Nick Swisher will stand in with 2 away.
And what I mean by that is the position right now of Omar Infante with Swisher in that batter's box on the ground. Swisher hits a lot of balls right where Omar's standing.
Fouled back out of play. Swisher a strikeout victim back in the first. 2 for his last 13 now. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on the veteran outfielder. And the 1-1 pitch. Low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Swisher up there with 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 3rd here at Comerica. Wave and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Something that Porcello has done all evening when he has fallen behind the Indians hitters. He has not given them a fastball 2-1 or 3-1. He has gone changeup, curveball. Lots of confidence in that pitch tonight, and really he's had a lot of confidence in his off-speed pitches all year.
It's pulled on the ground at first. Right there is Prince. Porcello covers. And Rick has himself 3 ground balls in a 1-2-3 inning.
Iglesias since July 3rd when they got him from Boston, and he has provided us with a lot of spectacular moments at that shortstop position. Here is a spectacular play over the head of Fister, and this play that he has already made here tonight, well, we simply added it to the reel. We bailed Porcello out in the 2nd inning. 6-4-3 double play on a ball that looked like it was headed in the left field.
It's going to be a lengthy reel before this season is over. Jose Iglesias will stand in.
They acquired him July 30th. I think I may have said July 3rd.
Iglesias batting .313. A couple of home runs this year. Has one of those in a Tigers uniform, and that's fouled straight back. Once you start to zero in on some of the postseason award winners, how about the Rookie of the Year? A couple of candidates. Of course, Will Myers has done good work since coming up to Tampa.
We've narrowed it down to 2. Okay.
There's a line drive foul down the first base line.
But those 2 would probably get most of the votes. Not a whole lot going on this year with rookies in the American League.
Connor Gillespie at third base for the White Sox was on that list for a while, but he's fallen off.
J.B. Shuck has been on that list as well. Angels outfield.
That's another good one. Here's the 0-2. Slice to right field, base hit. Maybe more. Let's see. Iglesias gonna test him. Here comes the throw from Stubbs. Not in time. Double.
That win yesterday for the Tigers just gave them a lot of energy here today. Had they lost that game yesterday, they would have come out to play, but by Torrey Hunter hitting that big home run yesterday, just really lifted the spirits of the squad. I love the Phantom Cam because it really shows you the direction of the bat knob that leads. Then you see the bat head come through. You see the wrist roll over there, which allows him to drive that ball in the right field corner.
Here's the other part of Iglesias' game that really helps this Tigers offense, his speed and energy. There's a bouncer back up the middle. Kipnis off his glove into center field. Iglesias rounding third. He will score. And the Tigers have taken the lead.
What an at-bat there by Austin Jackson. When you're simply trying to do your job with a runner on third, second, less than nobody out, and you're trying to hit the ball the other way, every now and then you get rewarded, as Austin Jackson got rewarded there. Kipnis pretty good range at second base. He's made great plays against us this year, but all he could do with this ground ball was slow it down, and slowed it down enough to allow Iglesias to score.
Tigers have their first lead of the night. Jackson picks up his 36th RBI of the season. Here is Torrey Hunter. Torrey a pop-up back in the first inning, 0 for 1.
McAllister is about 137, 1-4. And when he picks his leg up and delivers the ball toward home, which is plenty slow enough for Jackson to steal a base if Jackson wants to steal. Gomes, the catcher, has a great arm, though.
Austin took a step towards second, but stopped. 308 for Torrey this year, 16 homers. The walk-off hit that he had yesterday was the 9th of his career and the 4th career walk-off homer. Stolen bases for Jackson this year, 6 for 10. Runner goes. He swings and pops it up. Right side of the infield. Kipnis camping under it. 1 out.
Told you that McAllister about 137 to 1-4. Therefore, Austin Jackson would have been able to steal this base. He had about 5 steps underneath him, and before that ball left McAllister's hand, had Torrey not swung at it, and Jackson would have stolen the 7th base of the year.
We'll bring up Andy Dirks. By the way, we got the update on Cabrera, what we figured. Irritation of the abdominal area day to day. So we'll see if Miggy is back in the lineup tomorrow night for game 2 in the series. Dirks getting his first at bat. He was inserted into the 3 spot in the lineup, came on to replace Cabrera's spot. Kelly came in to play third and Dirks into left. 249 this year for Andy with 8 home runs. Jackson draws a throw. Pulled to right field, base hit. Jackson to second. He will stop there as Stubbs gets it back in. And Dirks has the base hit. Right now, time for a game break. We go to Matt Shepard. All right, Shep, thanks very much. He is absolutely right. What a series that is going to be with Pittsburgh down a game to St. Louis.
Tonight's game in Pittsburgh is one of the biggest games they've had there since Jim Leland left there.
And that was a long time ago.
Yes, it was.
Here is Fielder now with 1 out, 2 men on.
Prince loves that first pitch when there's runners in scoring position.
That one down low, 1-0.
And that's why McAllister did not throw him a fastball. He's got to throw him one now, though.
McAllister lost to the Tigers on August 8th. Tigers got him for 6 runs in 2 1/3. Since that start, he's won 3 straight. Now the 1-0. Checked it. They will appeal. He did not go, says Kerwin Danley.
A good buddy, Kerwin Danley.
Is that right?
Yeah, we're neighbors pretty much.
Really?
Yeah. I see him quite often in the offseason.
So he lives in the high rent district too then?
Nope. I live across the street. He lives in the high rent district. I live on the other side of the street, across the tracks.
Is it
what they used to say?
Is it low rent?
Across the tracks. We used to call it across the tracks.
I'm not buying. I'm not buying.
Play a little golf together.
Is that right?
Yeah, good guy.
2-0 the count. That is inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Here's that start against the Tigers on August 8th. You could see that he gave up 6 runs. He walked 4 in that game. And they took him out after 61 pitches. But since then, ripping off 3 consecutive victories.
Prince might just swing 3-0 this time. Maybe.
Yes, but he fouled it back. 3 balls, 1 strike on Fielder. He walked and scored back in the 2nd. And is 4 for 10 career against McAllister. Trying to drive in a couple of more runs here. Tigers have taken the lead. And he walked him again. Second time he's walked Fielder tonight. Problem now for McAllister is the bases are loaded for Victor Martinez. Here comes Mickey Callaway, the pitching coach.
Let's take a look at the previous pitch of McAllister on Phantom Cam. It's always interesting to see the kind of torque that the pitchers put on their body when we're able to slow it down as much as we're able to slow it down. Oh my goodness.
Look at that. Look at the muscles ripple. And it really is amazing when you get that kind of look, how much pressure and stress is put on the arm, the elbow, the shoulder.
It's not a natural thing to do to your body. Violently jerk your right arm over your head about 100 times every 5th day.
Well, here is Victor now. Career with the bases loaded, 324.
Victor Martinez is just like Prince Fielder. He's also just like Miguel Cabrera. When there are runners in scoring position, they will not let you have a first pitch fastball. They might take an off-speed pitch, but fastballs, they feast on those.
Ball 1. Off-speed high. 1 ball, no strikes. Martinez, who doubled and was back in the 2nd. And now the average at 298. Jackson at 3rd, Dirks at 2nd, and Fielder at 1st. Way outside, 2-0.
This is pretty much the way a lot of the Indians have pitched this way against the Tigers. They come in hot like McAllister's won his last 3, but all of a sudden the Tigers show up and they just don't pitch very well.
Well, he can't really afford to be tippy-toeing around here against Martinez with the bases loaded, 1 out. He's got himself at a 2-0 count. Victor now has hit safely in 6 consecutive games. High towering fly ball to center. Michael Bourne says, I can't find it. And it's way over his head. Jackson scores. Dirk scores. Here comes Fielder to third. They stop him there, and Michael Bourne was nowhere near that ball. It's 4-1 Detroit. He never saw it from the get-go. How about that play?
We've seen other players lose it. He's got both arms up, but Stubbs couldn't get there. Brantley couldn't get there, and it bounced 20 feet behind him. If you're Prince Fielder, who was on first base on that particular play, as soon as you see the hands go up of Michael Bourne, you have to be all the way to second base. You could still get back to first base, and Prince wasn't there. Therefore, Prince wasn't able to score on that ball.
It's a double and 2 RBIs for Victor Martinez in a ball that Michael Bourne never saw. And now with first base open, they're walking Don Kelly. Intentional walk to Don Kelly. 4 runs on 5 hits now for Detroit. As the Tigers get a bit of a break, Bourne never saw the ball, and it drops in to score a pair. And Victor now is at 299 with that double. Got to be the most helpless feeling ever.
The line drives, I think, in the lights are a little bit more stressful than those real high pop-ups that you lose. He never saw it. And this is what you do. You put both arms up so your corner outfielders, they can see that you can't see it, and neither player could get there because it was directly in center field.
Of course, you don't know sometimes if an outfielder is bluffing, trying to hold the runners, but or bait them into doing something they don't want to do. But that thing landed, I don't know, 20 feet behind it.
Yeah, Tigers have an outfielder that likes to do that by the name of Torrey Hunter.
Carrasco is warming up. 4-1 Tigers.
The last thing you wanted to see if you were Terry Francona was your team give up a huge number to the Tigers, especially the way their offense has sputtered the entire month of August.
The Indians have really struggled with the bats. There's a ball high to Alex Avila.
McAllister is 6 of 16 in first pitch strikes. And that is usually a recipe for disaster against this team, the Tigers.
That's in there, a strike.
That's 4 fastballs now that Avila has gotten it when he's had himself in a fastball count. McAllister fell behind Avila last time up, and then he threw 3 fastballs right by Avila. Avila's got a quick bat, but he's got to look for that fastball.
Chop toward third base. They're going to let it roll. It's going to stay fair. They'll get the out at third on the force. Fielder comes in to score. It'll be an RBI for Avila. 5-1 Detroit. Avila gets his 39th RBI. All of a sudden, Rick Porcello has a nice little cushion to work with. Here's the 9th man to bat in the inning, Omar Infante. It was so long ago, but this inning started with a double by Jose Iglesias. Infante is 0 for 1, fly ball. Popped him up. Behind home plate. Gomes runs out of room. One row back. A 4 spot here in the third for Detroit. McAllister, who started so quickly tonight with a 1-2-3 first inning, gave up 1 in the second and now 4 here in the third. Omar waiting on the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers trying to go up 7.5 on the Indians, and they could do so with a victory here tonight. That one almost hit him. Spun him out of there. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Not a bad idea for McAllister to pitch inside. You're going to have to pitch inside if he's going to stay out there a while against the Tigers, or else the Tigers will be diving out toward that outside corner all night long. And he's got enough giddy up on his fastball to get inside against some of the Tigers hitters with the fastball if he locates it well. You'd have thought it hit Omar by that reaction.
The fan cam showing Infante anticipating being hit. There's a bouncer to second. Kipnis will throw him out. That'll end the inning. However, the Tigers get a big inning. Little help from the fact that Mike Bourne, I don't have it. Where is it?
Ball outs today, but something else Rick's doing very well. He has incorporated his curveball very nicely so far this evening against Cleveland Indians, and they have been able to do very little with him. And the infielders always know to be on their toes, high alert when Rick is on the bump, because there's going to be a ton of grounders.
So Porcello enjoying a 5-1 lead now. The numbers on Rick through 3 innings. He has given up 3 hits. He has struck out 2. No base on balls. Jason Kipnis leads it off. And he takes ball 1 outside. Porcello had gone first pitch strike on 8 of the first 11.
That is the biggest difference between he and Zach McAllister this evening.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Tapped foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Porcello won his 10th game his last outing. Now has 5 consecutive years where he has won 10 or more games. That's not too shabby for a guy that is your number 5 starter.
Nope. He's got 58 wins in his career now. Pretty good. Here's a strike call.
Those 10 wins, well, 58 wins, as you mentioned, they rank him 10th in the American League since he came to the major leagues at the beginning of the 2009 season. Only 9 other pitchers in the American League have more victories than Porcello in that span.
Fouled back, 1-2 the count, and I think that's really part of the reason why there is always some interest in Rick when, you know, the offseason rolls around and people are looking to make trades. There's always interest in Porcello.
Tigers were very wise that they did not move Rick Porcello in the offseason.
Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And you know, they very well could have. With what Drew Smiley did last year, they easily could have said, look, we need a lefty in the rotation. Let's just punch him in there.
I know the Texas Rangers really tried hard to get Porcello in spring training. A lot of teams tried to get Porcello.
Now the 2-2. Got him, strike 3. Kipnis is out of there, 1 gone. 3rd strikeout for Rick.
It's got to the point now where some of these tried hitters are just pressing a little bit too much. Every single pitch to Kipnis there in the 6 pitches that he saw from Porcello were all away from him, and then he finally takes the last one, which had a little tailing action to it, at 93 miles an hour for strike 3.
Santana got it started back in the 2nd with a double. Has scored their only run so far, and he waves and misses.
Outstanding change piece there out of the hand of Rick.
Porcello lifetime against the Indians 7-3 with a 3.61 earned run average. And that is no small sampling. He has made 18 career starts against the Tribe. 0-2. Five runs on 5 Detroit hits, 1 run on 3 hits for Cleveland. There's our camera from high atop the scoreboard at Comerica Park, giving you yet another unique view. Here's the 0-2, and it's inside. 1 ball at 2 strikes.
Here's Porcello's delivery in Phantom Cam. He's got a perfect delivery. Arm slot, high 3/4.
One and 2 on Santana. 57 driven in this year for Santana, who just a couple of years ago was 2011. He hit 27 long balls. 16 this year. One of the better trades the Indians have made over the past several years. They gave up Casey Blake to the Dodgers to get Santana.
The Tribe are not that far off from really being in contention in the American League Central. They added a lot of pieces in the offseason, a new manager. It's going to take a while for it all to gel together, but they're going to be pretty good next year. They got a nucleus of pitching that's outstanding. They just need 1 or 2 more big bats in the middle of that order to do some damage. That's it. They got plenty of speed.
Yeah, that they do. Bourne can run. Kipnis can run. High, deep drive into right field. That ball is way back and caught. Front of the wall by Torrey Hunter.
You never know with Torrey out there.
I'm going to have to talk to him again tomorrow. With all that bluffing he does out there in right field.
He is from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, you know.
That's pretty good right there. He drifted back and it nestled right into the glove. Torrey likes deking those runners, and he's done it his entire career. On balls that he knows he can't get, he'll throw his glove up.
He has a lot of fun.
Here's Michael Brantley. Fouled back out of play. Single for Brantley back in the 2nd. amazing what Brantley's been able to do against Tigers pitching. He really has zeroed in versus Detroit. And he hit a ball that appeared it was going to be a single in his first at bat. That's the play Iglesias made on him. That tremendous double play ball. There you go. 304 lifetime against Detroit. It's been a tough out. Two balls, one strike. Start number 25 on the season for Porcello. The Tigers are 13-11 in his first 24 starts. That's off the plate. 3-1.
Tigers have only used 6 starters this year. Jose Alvarez, who was just sent back down to the minor leagues a couple of days ago, the only other person in the organization that has gotten a start at this level. They have stayed healthy.
And they've had the good fortune of that as we head into the month of September in a couple of days. 3-2 now on Brantley.
And as you would imagine, the 6 starters, the fewest in baseball.
The one thing Leland did say before the game today is they've got to start getting those pitchers going more than 5 innings, though. They've had a stretch, including the games against Oakland, in which they only got 5, which tends to stress out your pen a little bit more. But over the long haul, they've been rested this year. That's in the air to left field, playable. Andy Dirks under it, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th. Back in early August, it was a 4-game series in Cleveland marked by big hit after big hit. The Tigers swept that series, and they lead here tonight in Game 1 in this series. 5-1 is our score as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Zach McAllister goes back to work, facing the same guy he faced to start the last half inning. It was Iglesias who doubled. That got the party started back in the 3rd. The Tigers ended up with 4. Ball missing outside.
Iglesias has already made his presence felt here tonight with a dazzling play on a ball that should have been in left field, but he stopped it. He made the play, and they turned a double play. And it could have turned into a huge inning for Cleveland, but it did not.
See if this stays playable. It appears it will. Chisenhall is under it. Jackson is 1 for 2. Single hit a run in the third inning for Detroit. Austin now at 269. Got 11 homers this year. And he looks at ball one from McAllister. Terry Francona taking a little chance here in the fourth inning. He had Mark Zepchinski warming up at the start of the inning. Wanted him ready in case McAllister had another rocky frame here. That's down the right field line, slicing away from Stubbs, and it's going to drop foul. And then bounce back into the seats. 2-1 on Jackson. Terry Francona's team, second in the Central, 71 victories coming in. They've already surpassed what they were able to do all of last year. Ball high, 3-1.
He doesn't have much feel for that split finger changeup. Seems like he slows his delivery down drastically, and hitters can see that. When a pitcher slows his arm speed down, they know they're going to get something off speed. It's a big difference between his fastball and that last pitch he threw.
That split finger pitch was taught to him by Mickey Callaway, the pitching coach. Taught him a couple of different grips. But Terry Francona said, look, you're 6'6". Don't turn into Bruce Sutter with that pitch. There's a swing and a miss, struck him out. But he has utilized it. Time now for the Ace Hardware Scott's Fan Poll question of the game. Here it is. Of these four, what is the most memorable moment of the season so far? Is it A, the Hunter game-winning homer yesterday, B, the Avila home run in Cleveland, C, the Miggy game winner, the walk-off against KC, or D, Anibal Sanchez striking out 17 against Atlanta? Text ACE, then a space, then A, B, C, or D to 37338. We only had room for four, so obviously there were plenty of other moments this year, but those are the four we chose, so make your choice. Hunter is 0 for 2, couple of pop-ups. One to first, one to second. Big swing there, and they count now quickly 0-2. Torrey is nestled in nicely into that 2 spot in the Tiger lineup as you look at the pitching numbers here on McAllister. Adder about 300 most of the year. He has 48 multiple hit games. Bouncer right back off the pitcher. McAllister can't find it. Gonna have to hurry. Safe with first base. 2-out infield hit. Had he been able to locate that thing immediately, he probably gets it.
McAllister wasn't in very good position to field that ball, hit right off of his body, and then once he did find it, he tried to shuffle it underneath to over to first base to Nick Swisher, not before Torrey Hunter, and cross that bag though.
So we'll see what Dirks can do here with 2 outs. That is the 6th Detroit hit. Fouled back out of play. Again, if you tuned in a little bit tardy tonight, Miguel Cabrera had to leave the game early after 1 at bat. He tweaked that abdominal muscle, so he is out of the game and day to day.
I don't know what Kevin Rand, who was the head trainer, athletic trainer on the Tigers staff, is thinking, but I know at one point in time a few weeks ago he said even if they did put Miggy on the disabled list, there's no guarantee in 2 weeks he's going to be any better than he is today.
And in the interim, he is able to perform without really injuring himself. Otherwise, obviously, the Tigers wouldn't run him out there every day.
For sure.
1 ball, 1 strike. Dirks had a single, scored a run back in the 3rd. Two and 1 the count. This will be the 75th pitch coming up now for McAllister, who had a .500 record coming in, yet his ERA was 3.5.
If you're Torrey Hunter, you can go ahead and steal this base now if you choose to do so. That's if they give you the green light, because McAllister right now struggling with his command, and more than likely on the 3-1 pitch he will not even think about Torrey Hunter, and Torrey can get a great jump if he wants to run.
Mark Zepchinski warming up. Still not going, and it's a ball inside. Walked him. So after 2 outs, an infield single and now a walk. And it looks like that's going to be it with fielder due up. They want the lefty Zepchinski. Terry Francona making the trip out to the hill. 76 total pitches in this game, and Zepchinski coming in. It's a wall side windows pitching change. We'll be back.
Play by Iglesias. The Indians did score 1 run, but the Tigers were able to turn a double play there, and then it was Austin Jackson who drove in the very first run of the evening for the Tigers. And then a bizarre play, Victor Martinez, he already has 1 hit, which is the double. Michael Bourne in center field never saw the ball off the bat. Victor got 2 more RBIs and another double. He is now 2 for 2, and he's almost hitting 300 now.
So Mark Zepchinski, who was acquired earlier this year, just about a month ago at the deadline from the Cardinals, takes over.
He's holding left-handers to a batting average which is under 100, and righties not doing much better against Zepchinski, and he has not been scored upon in the 11 games he's pitched so far for the Tribe.
Fielder has a couple of walks. Those 2 at bats against McAllister, who is out of the game. He had won 3 straight prior to this one here tonight, but leaves trailing 5-1. That's fouled back out of play.
August 7th, in a game in Cleveland, Zepchinski in the 14th inning against Prince Fielder, huge double by Prince, and the Tigers went on to win that game, and they swept that 4-game series when they were in Cleveland.
Big hit by Fielder, who's had a few of his own this year. 4-game sweep. Really kind of took the wind out of the sails of the Indians. They can do the same here in this series. Here's the 0-1. Ooh, it hit him. And that is going to load the bases. It's going to bring up Victor Martinez. This all started with 2 out, nobody on, an infield hit by Torrey Hunter. It's funny how the game goes sometimes. That ball was hit right back by Hunter off the pitcher. If he finds it and throws him out, inning's over and we move on, and McAllister's still in the game. But he couldn't locate it. Torrey was safe. Dirks walked, and now Fielder is hit. Missed it outside. 1-0 on Victor Martinez. 2 doubles, 2 RBIs. The 2 lead runners belong to McAllister. One ball, 1 strike on Martinez.
It is so hard to do what Victor has been able to maintain for about 2 months now, since the calendar turned to July, and that's master both sides of the plate. Usually when you're a switch hitter, you're usually feeling better on one side versus the other side, but lately Victor, no problem batting right-handed or left-handed, and you see a lot more right-handed pitching than you do left-handed pitching.
Martinez at this point in the year now has more hits as a designated hitter than anybody in the American League, which is astounding.
Got off
yeah, it's astounding to think that that could possibly be with the first 2 months of the year.
Even Big Papi?
Even Big Papi. Actually, the first 3 months of the year. He's got Hunter. He's got Dirks. He's got Fielder. Well, when you have over 80 hits the last 2 months, that'll do it for you. And really, Victor early on was hitting some balls hard. He just was hitting in some bad luck, but overall wasn't doing well the first 3 months. Now Zepchinski wants his catcher out to the mound. This is in danger right now of getting away from the Indians. The Tigers already lead 5-1. They got him loaded here with 2 outs. Porcello enjoying a lot of offense tonight. Victor now has 73 RBIs. Sends a ground ball to the right side. Kipnis goes to the grass. He'll have time, and he throws him out. Victor almost got one through, but the inning is over. Tigers fail to score. They will leave him loaded here in the 4th. And a fine play by Jason Kipnis. To you by Arby's. Try Arby's Grand Turkey Club today. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Some of the sights at the ballpark here tonight through the lens of Phantom Cam as we really slow it down. We'll have Phantom Cam throughout the weekend here at Comerica Park, giving you some different views of what you normally see here at the ballpark. So the Tigers have themselves a 5-1 lead as we travel to the 5th inning. And Asdrubal Cabrera will start things off. These are the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Terry Francona. Cabrera, Gomes, Chisenhall facing the righty, Rick Porcello. It's a strike. That's 7 straight retired by Porcello. He got 1, 2, 3, 3rd, and 4th innings. Here's the 0-1. Bouncing ball right side. Infante to the grass. Bobbles has no play. Leadoff man is on. It'll be an error.
Omar will tell you he makes that play all day, every day, but for whatever reason, not today.
7th error of the year for Infante. Didn't seem to take a funny hop. Just misplayed. First error of the game for either team. Here's Yan Gomes. Big rip there by Gomes. He fouled it straight back. Gomes spent part of his collegiate days at Tennessee playing with the Volunteers. In fact, he was the backup catcher for J.P. Arancibia at Tennessee. Talk about having that position on lockdown. Those two guys on your team.
So he was a backup in college. Now he's a backup in the big leagues.
But he's in the big league. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball to third. This could be 2. Kelly, Infante. Double play. 5-4-3. They swing it around the horn.
That's what Porcello will do. He bailed Infante out. Infante misplayed the first ground ball. Kelly did not misplay this one. He gave Omar a high feed, but Omar had plenty of time to get out of the way of the base runner and still turn it over and get Yan Gomes.
Two outs now. Here's Chisenhall. Chisenhall popped it up. He swings and misses. 0-1. That might have been the old neighborhood play down there at second base.
And most of the time the umpires will give you that neighborhood play, so to speak.
Here's the 0-1 pitch.
No doubt Omar came across the bag before the ball got in his glove, but still got the out call from Gary Cederstrom, the second base umpire.
That replay there looked a whole lot closer. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Rolled foul. Lonnie Chisenhall starting to lose some at bats now against left-handed pitching because he's batting .086 against lefties. So Mike Aviles was seeing some time at third base versus left-handed pitching.
Aviles even got a start yesterday against a right-handed pitcher, so he's losing some at bats against righties too.
Down the left field line, slicing fair. It'll go to the corner. Chisenhall will have extra bases, and he will take the turn and hold with a double. 2-out, 2-base hit for the number 8 hitter. He's going to bring up Drew Stubbs.
I guess Chisenhall trying to earn some of his at-bats back.
You know what really is, to me, really cool when you see hitters in the Phantom Cam is the action, the wrist action that you need and how important your wrists are to hitting.
The ones that do it well, when they do make contact, they've got the top hand, which when they make contact on the bottom, and the other hand's on top. And then once they do make contact, they just simply roll those wrists over.
1-0 on Stubbs. There's a ball inside, 2-0. He used to say that Hank Aaron had the strongest wrists around.
He had some forearms, too.
2 balls, no strikes. Stubbs hit a ball back up the middle. It resulted in a ground out. His first time up, 0 for 1. Tribe trying to get a 2-out run here. The 2-0 pitch. Bouncing ball to second should get him out of the inning. Fonte throws him out, inning over. No runs, a double. An error, 1 man left. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. To a participating Arby's location tomorrow, and you will get yourself a free small order of curly fries. Tigers right now in control of this one. They could use a little bit more offense, though. They lead by a score of 5-1. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, it'll be Don Kelly to start things off for Detroit. And Zepchinski misses low, 1 ball, no strikes. Kelly, Avila, Infante. Tigers threatened back in the 4th, but didn't score. They left him loaded. Kelly showing bunt, and it's in for a strike. Don, since the beginning of June, hitting at a .293 clip. Knocked in a run earlier tonight with a sac fly, and has now driven in 22 this year. Here's the 1-1. Zepchinski's 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Not sure what I like better, the Phantom Cam or that view from atop the scoreboard in left field. Both pretty cool.
We have all the gadgets working here this evening.
2-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. It's the first out of the 5th inning. Zepchinski gets his first strikeout. And it's time for some trivia. You guys ready? Trivia question every day brought to you by AT&T. Who led the Indians in home runs the last time they made the playoffs? Who led them in homers when the Tribe was last in postseason? Here's Alex Avila. Alex 0 for 2 with an RBI tonight. It's the ball low, 1-0. Avila now 39 driven in this season, trying to get something started here in the 5th. The A's were just in town the last 4 days, and of course one of their color commentators on TV was Ray Fosse, the former big league catcher, and I was talking to Fosse about all the foul tips that Avila has taken because their own catcher John Jaso was on the concussion list for the same thing, and I said it seems like Alex takes more foul tips than anybody. Is there a reason for that? And he feels that he's just plain unlucky. It's not the way he's setting up or the pitching staff or anything. You just sometimes go through stretches where everything is just fouled straight back. A lot of them have really rung the bell of Avila, and the concussion is something that is becoming looked at even more closely now across baseball and really all the sports.
Well, you really should, and make sure when guys do get hit that they don't have concussions. I remember Justin Morneau was here just a couple of weeks ago of the Minnesota Twins, and of course he missed a lot of time a couple of years ago. Said the worst thing you could do is try to go out and play with a concussion.
3 balls and 1 strike. Pulled foul down the first base line.
I like that swing right there by Avila. He got himself in another friendly fastball count. He wasn't late on that fastball. He was looking for it. He was ready for it. And he ripped it to the pull field.
Had it stayed fair, that had double written all over it. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. A couple of strikeouts here for Zepchinski. Hey, by the way, every game counts. And this Sunday, the Tigers play the Indians at 108. It's Kids Day. All kids 14 and under receive a free Tigers back-to-school binder. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. It's going to be it for Zepchinski. He does his job striking out the 2 lefties. He'll depart the scene. Wall side windows pitching change. Indians go back to the pen. We'll be back. Home run, and it was Brian Pena that gave him the bath. And Brian tweeted today, "My friend Justin, I'm sorry for getting you wet, but you know I meant you no harm. I'm sorry. Much respect, brother."
He told him he was sorry twice. How about that? It's a good thing that was water, because that suit yesterday that J-Dub had on was awfully clean.
That's a good point. But Brian Pena felt bad about the whole thing, and so he needed to apologize. Anyway, we've got a new pitcher now. It's Carlos Carrasco.
How about Torrey? Torrey should have stayed there and taken that water bath or the ice bath.
Oh, no. Torrey's a veteran, man. He got out of the way. There's a check swing outside, although he probably could have used it to cool down. Is that what you meant?
And it looked like Brian Pena already had his mind. He was going to dump it on somebody. So J-Dub was standing right there, so I'll just dump it on you.
Well, it's one of the things that you have to deal with when you're a sideline reporter. Look out! Look at Pena.
I get you.
He knew what he was doing. There's a high pop up into shallow left field. Brantley coming over. Inning over. Cardinals in a trade with the Milwaukee Brewers. Michael Morse. Well, they finally made that trade with the Seattle Mariners.
And Michael Morse was not performing all that well for the Seattle Mariners after having a couple of really good seasons in Washington. But now he finds himself on a team that has playoff aspirations.
So do the Tampa Bay Rays. And David Price, is the All-Star break, is 5-0.
And he's pitching like the reigning Cy Young Award winner.
Here it is, 5-1 in favor of the Tigers. We go to the 6th inning, and Rick Porcello back at the hill. He is facing the top of the lineup. Michael Bourne leads it off. Bourne and then Swisher and then Kipnis. Tigers have 5 runs, 6 hits tonight. A run on 4 hits for the Indians. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And it's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Bourne a strikeout and a ground out in this one. The prolific base stealer in the National League. Coming over to Cleveland this year. High 3-0. Waiting on deck is Swisher. That's it for a strike. 3-1. Signed by the Indians in mid-February, really. I mean, it was getting late for Bourne. They signed him to a 4-year deal. Here's a bouncing ball, first base side. That's a fair ball. Prince has it. Better hurry up. Ooh, he just got there. 1 out. Time for a game break now. Here's Matt Shepard. All right, Shep, thanks. Yes, it's been somewhat of a really storybook season for the Pirates, and they're a team that you kind of root for because they've had so many seasons of sub-500 baseball.
We saw the Pittsburgh Pirates this year. They took 3 of 4 from Detroit and looked rather impressive doing so.
Yeah, their pitching was really good. Swisher the batter. And right now the Pirates trailing the Cards by a game in the Central. Cincinnati right there, 3-team race. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Swisher is 0 for 2, strikeout, ground out. He grounded to Fielder back in the 3rd inning in his last at bat. Now the 1-1. 1-2. Only 4 hits tonight for the Indians, who again, as we mentioned, struggled in their series sweep at the hands of the Braves. They batted just .227 in that series and scored just 3 runs. And the 1-2. Fouled away again by Swisher, who is now 2 for his last 14. College football has begun again, so that must pique the interest of Swisher, who went to a pretty good college football school. That would be Ohio State in the Big Ten. Not a fan favorite in these parts, obviously. Here's the 1-2. Drill down the right field line. That ball is going to be fair, and a ground rule double. 1 out, 2 base hit.
Yeah, Swisher got himself a breaking ball with 2 strikes, and Porcello didn't bury it at the bottom of the zone, left it up, and Swisher with a pretty good swing and gets himself an extra base hit. One of the reasons why the Tigers have kind of had their way this season against the Indians, the top of their batting order just hasn't done much against Detroit pitching. Michael Bourne, their leadoff hitter, hitting just .214 this year against Tigers pitching. Jason Kipnis, who made an all-star team this year, batting just .217 this season against Tigers pitching.
Kipnis was hitting .301 at the break. Made his first all-star team. And also at the all-star break had 57 RBIs and 13 home runs.
And it's not like the Tigers have any left-handers in their starting rotation. All 5 of their starters are right-handed, so you would think a guy with the skill set of Kipnis and Bourne would be doing a little bit better from a batting average standpoint.
Strike call, 2-1 on Kipnis. Kipnis originally was a 4th-round pick of the San Diego Padres, and most 4th-round picks will sign. But he did not. He just got the feeling that San Diego wasn't all that interested in signing him. They actually offered him a contract which was under slot money. So he just said, I'll go back to school. Here's a strike call, 2-2. And he did. Played his college ball at Arizona State. Started at Kentucky, then went to Arizona State. What a month of June he had. .419, which was a big push that got him his all-star berth. Now Porcello taking too long. Kipnis will step out. Low and away, 3-2. Santana waiting on deck. Tigers lead 5-1. They broke it open a bit with a 4-run 3rd as McAllister was knocked out of this game in the 4th inning tonight. And the 3-2 fouled away.
McAllister just hasn't done all that well against the Tigers this year. And their starter, Zach McAllister, had a start this year against the Tigers where he didn't make it out of the 3rd inning, and he didn't make it out of the 4th inning here today.
We lost him ball 4, and now the Indians have something brewing here in the 6th inning. Double and a walk.
Here is our Xfinity high-speed pitch of the evening, thrown by Rick Porcello. 94. His top fastball, 973 with a curveball.
Rick does not walk too many. That is his first of the night. That'll bring Jeff Jones out to have a confab now with Porcello.
I don't know about you, but it appears to me that Jeff Jones makes more visits out when Rick Porcello's pitching than any of the other starters. They've had a wonderful relationship since Rick was a rookie. At that time, Jeff Jones was a bullpen coach.
I would not disagree with that. I think that he does make a lot of trips out there as Albuquerque starts to warm up, and really his relationship with everybody on the staff is awfully good, and that's part of what it takes to be a good pitching coach. Different personalities.
Rick Knapp, at the time that Jeff was the bullpen coach, was the pitching coach, and he had 4 other starters to deal with. Therefore, he allowed Jeff Jones to mentor Rick Porcello. He used to go to Jeff Jones' house for dinner many times in that rookie year. Rick was just 20 years old at the time. He was still a baby.
So here's Santana now. It is 5-1 Tigers, but 2 men on for the Indians, and ball 1.
Santana is one of those guys, although he walks a lot, he is very aggressive in these situations. So if you throw him a fastball here, it doesn't have to be a really good fastball. You can make it inside or outside. Just climb the ladder a little bit. He'll still swing at it, but don't make it too good.
Strike called. 1-1. Santana had a double back in the 2nd, and to this point has scored the only run for the Indians. They jumped out to a 1-0 lead. Tigers tied it up in the 2nd, went ahead in the 3rd. Low and away, 2 balls, 1 strike.
And Porcello trying to do something here tonight that none of the other Tigers 4 starters were able to do in that Oakland series, and that's make it through 6 innings. Porcello's already thrown quite a few ground balls this evening, looking for another one right here off the bat of Santana.
Popped up and back into the seats. Out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball here gets him out of the inning if he can get him to hit it at someone.
And Tigers have already turned a couple of double plays here today.
Now Avila out to the mound to chat with Porcello. Rick 7-3 lifetime against the Indians with a 3.61 ERA. Tigers staked him to a 5-1 lead in this one. Here's the 2-2. Driven to center field on a line. Jackson comes out to make the play. Hit it hard, but straight at him. 2 gone.
Let's take a look at how Porcello attacked the dangerous hitter, Carlos Santana. First pitch, fastball for a strike. Staying at the bottom of the zone. He's trying to get Santana to hit that ground ball. He got up in the zone. Avila went out to visit him, and then Porcello went right back down south of the knees, and Santana lined out sharply to Austin Jackson.
So a chance now to get out of the inning, but here is Brantley, and we talked about how he really comes through with men in scoring position. 347 this year. He had a single in the 2nd with a man in scoring position.
At 347 average, best on their squad.
And he sinks one low. 1 ball to no strikes. One out double by Swisher. Kipnis walked. Now with 2 outs, Brantley. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, Porcello nearing the 100 plateau. He's had 97 pitches. We got Cabrera waiting on deck for the Indians.
It's something that Jim very seldom allows Porcello to do, and that's go well beyond 100. So more than likely, this is his last inning. And then again, you never know with the way the bullpen's been taxed the last few days.
So Avila again will go out to the mound. 106 is the most that Porcello has thrown in any start this year. That was at Texas way back in May. You know, for as much as that Tiger bullpen was taxed, it could have been worse if that rain didn't hit in the one game that was shut down after 6 innings, or in the 6th inning. Because the Tigers probably would have had to gone deeper into that game into the bullpen.
Yeah, that rain-shortened game, which Oakland won, may have been a blessing in disguise for that bullpen.
Albuquerque still warming up, and it's 3-0 on Brantley. That's in for a strike. 3-1. Next one is number 100 for Porcello. And he lost at ball 4. That's going to load the bases now. 2 walks in the inning for Rick. And now Jim Leland getting up off his perch. And here he comes. It's going to be it for Rick. So Leland will make the change here. He'll bring in Albuquerque with the bases loaded. 100 pitches exactly for Porcello. 66 strikes tonight. And he's going to need some help from the bullpen to stem the tide here in the 6th inning. We have a pitch and change. We'll be back. Tigers on top, 5-1.
The Cleveland Indians' first couple of strikeouts he got came on that really good breaking ball, which he worked in very nicely in the very first inning. He also got himself quite a few ground balls. Porcello always gets ground balls, 13 ground balls the last time out and quite a few today. And, of course, you do need some help from your defenders when you throw as many grounders as he does. And he got himself 2 double plays turned behind him before leaving this ball game.
So big spot here as Albuquerque comes in and sails one outside, 1-0.
Albuquerque has inherited 24 base runners this year coming into a game. 8 of those have come around to score. He has 3 out there, and that Porcello left for him.
1 ball to no strikes. 5-1 Tigers. Bases loaded. And it's in there, a strike. Cabrera hit that ball sharply back in the second. That was turned into a double play on a spectacular play by Jose Iglesias. Here's the 1-1. That one darts low.
The Cleveland Indians were 1 big hit away from winning those games in Atlanta. Those games were close in Atlanta, but they could not get the 1 big hit. And Atlanta got a big hit, just 1 big hit at night, which allowed them to win the series because Cleveland's pitching, by and large, was able to slow down that Atlanta offense.
Well, they've got Swisher, Kipnis, and Brantley on the bases right now. Here's the 2-1 coming home. Grounded foul. 2-2 on Asdrubal Cabrera. So Porcello is hoping that Albuquerque can strand these runners. Rick walking 2 here in the 6th inning.
All 4 of the pitches that Cabrera has seen have been sliders out of the hand of Albuquerque. Might want to throw a fastball here in about 96, 97. Another slider at 88, but he missed with it.
So the count is full. And so are the bases. Porcello had 4 3-ball counts in this game, 3 of them coming in this inning. Before departing, pulled foul down the first base line.
Kind of gives you an idea of the confidence that Albuquerque has in that slider. Most guys in the big leagues are throwing a fastball right here, but he is confident in the breaking pitch.
Yan Gomes on deck. 5-1 Detroit, 6th inning. Bases full for the Indians. Way outside, he walked in, ball 4. That'll force in a run. 5-2. And that run belongs to Porcello. More action in the Detroit bullpen now. Bruce Rondon warming up. So for the Indians now, the tying runs are on the bases here. The go-ahead run at home plate. Gomes a double and a double play ball. Way inside 1-0. And here comes Jeff Jones. Boy, he is wearing a path out to the mound tonight. Albuquerque walking Cabrera with the bases loaded and falling behind Gomes here. What do you got on Albuquerque here? Is it just not being consistent with the arm slot?
Well, the slider is not releasing it out in front. And the majority of the sliders that he threw to the previous hitter, Cabrera, were mostly up in the strike zone. He did the same thing on the first breaking ball to Yan Gomes.
Here's the 1-0. Low, 2 balls and no strikes as you watch the reaction to Rick Porcello in what has turned into a nail-biting 6th inning. (5-2) in favor of the Tigers. It is 2-0 on Gomes. That's it for strike 2 and 1. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Ground ball to third. Don Kelly has it. He'll hit the bag for the out to end the inning. Minimal damage done. The Indians settle for 1 run. It's now 5-2. Porcello fired up about that ground out.
Playing the second inning, taking a base hit away from their shortstop, Cabrera. Not only taking a base hit away, but starting a double play. Got it to Infante, and then Infante got it to Prince. And then he came up, led off to third with a double, and came around to score on the Jackson base hit right back up the box.
And it'll be Iglesias to start things off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Tigers